Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. This is the fourth episode in my divestment series from the Democratic Party. This one is about black and brown voters being finessed into irrelevancy by their leaders. Just bold-faced lies right in front of your face. And this has to do with the uh, growing immigrant problem where that your Democratic leaders are right in front of you, finessing you with your replacements, right? They're saying that the power of your vote, such as it is waning because a lot of people in your party are starting to wake up, particularly black men, who are realizing that there's nothing in the Democratic Party for us at all. Hasn't been that way for years. None of the programs, none of the emphasis, nothing has been for black men, only the same old bullshit. And so it's time for us to start to look at other pastors, other ways to get our political voices heard, whether it's the Republican Party or spearheading a third party, which will be a bane in the side of the Democrats. Well, before we get started, let's talk about the word finesse. We use that word in the slang where people are being used. You got people who think you're their friend. We got a party who acts like they're in our favor. And the only time they need us is when it comes time to vote. You got a white president, who pretty much hates black people, and he's proven it. He was the one standing on the steps of a high school saying that it needs to be segregated and that putting black people in that high school would be the bane to society. He was the one who went to a funeral for one of the most hated and most feared, racists in the past. He was the one who talked about black children as roaches. He was the one who was a major champion to the crime bill to put a large safety net to put black men in jail. He was the one who stood up and denigrated Anita Hill during the confirmation hearings of Clarence Thomas and his proclivity for pornography and Anita's claim that he sexually harassed her. This is the president, Joe Biden, the one you think that's your savior, but he belongs to the same clubs as the people that you're so afraid of. So black people are being finessed. Now, black women are used to being finessed. As long as you tell them what they want to hear, they'll vote for anything. Alphabet community, they'll vote for all kinds of legislations about. They even voted for having all these immigrants coming in. So as long as you have a black face and you say things they want to hear, they vote for it or they propel it or promote it. So that's why there's so many uh, you know, safety net programs that they take advantage of. But none of that stuff does black men any good use. So let's we need to get the hell out of the Democratic Party. We need to bring everybody we possibly can and make 2024 a watershed moment of us divesting from the party and stop being finessed. So now what's the latest finesse? The latest finesse is the immigrants coming in and on the taxpayers' dollars and putting those immigrants in in the black and brown communities. None of the white communities are getting an influx of immigrants on their back lawn. So there's some major states that call themselves sanctuary cities, Democratic states, mostly Democratic led states. They didn't ask the taxpayers whether they wanted to be sanctuary cities or not. Sanctuary cities and states are the places where the Democrats said, listen, you can come over to our country and we'll take you in. If they don't want you in the border, we'll take you in our city. We'll displace our own citizen. We'll use our taxpayers' dollars and our stipends from the federal government, and we'll empty our coffers for your weak, your indigent, and your kids and all that. In New York City, they say it costs $350 a day for a family, and they got hundreds of thousands of families in there now, or people in there. And you know what? This is say if there's a family of four, that's 35,000 or more families and rising. In Chicago, they have 25 buses a day going into Chicago. And what they're doing with these people, the budget's gone, but they're finding money in the budget that they refuse to give black and brown people, and they're finding money to shelter, clothe, educate, medical care, feed immigrants from a foreign land right under the nose of all the taxpayers who voted them in office. There was the only bigger finesse than what the Democrats are doing now was putting a white was the Europeans putting a white Jesus on a cross and making all black people bow down in front of the white God. Listen, I'm just telling you, this finesse needs to stop. It just needs to stop. So here's the states: California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Washington. These are the states where all of the black and brown people are being finessed and taking in immigrants to replace them, give them citizenship as fast as they can so they can start to vote for Democrats. And so that vote could be worth more to them than the dwindling amount of black people who are not having as many kids, dying off and starting to divest from the party. So they need to have replacements. A lot of people don't realize in the last month, Biden, with a stroke of a pen, gave 500,000 immigrants the right to work, just like that, right? So those people are going to enter the workforce, and in 5 years, with their ingenuity and their hunger, the ones who want to work, they'll be replacing a whole bunch of entitled, lazy black folks who are waiting for more government handouts. So we need to find a way to get those people who are black to understand there's no more handouts, and the ones you have, they're going to start to get taken away, and the rights you think you have are going to start to be shifted to the new immigrants who are going to replace you on the front lines or the infantry of the Democratic Party. I have some videos I want to show you. I don't even feel like doing that right now. I'm going to just rant for a little bit. I just said, I don't see why, as savvy as black people think they are in terms of streetwise, as things of that nature, we can't see how the Democrats are finessing us. Since 1964, with the Civil Rights Act and integration, ramping up integration, and then the Moynihan Report giving women the ability to kick their men out of the house, whether it was by force or coercion, so they can get handouts like Section 8 and government subsidies so they could raise their families by themselves without any family units. And they put that on steroids. You had the birth control pill, you had feminism, and you had what they call sexual empowerment by being debaucherous. And we got a broken society that we have right now, and it's destroying whatever's left of the black community, and it's dividing us by class, right? So I don't know how to put the genie back in the bottle, but the policies of the Democrats is not going to be it. The constant reminder that you're a victim is not going to help you. Just people who say the victim Olympics means that there was no racism, that these guys are being willfully ignorant. The truth of the matter is, racism doesn't stop the person who doesn't want to be stopped. In the face of all the racism, we still have black doctors and black lawyers. We have black engineers. We got black entrepreneurs who are millionaires. We have people black men who've come out of the worst adversity to build businesses and move forward, even in the face of classism and racism. So racism is not our biggest problem, and the Democrats keep trying to tell you it is. But just like Malcolm X said, that the liberal is the biggest enemy of the black man. He said the white liberal is, but I'm gonna just take the white out of it and just say the liberal and liberal policies are killing the community. We need to, to become more conservative. And as you start to work and make money and start to interface and talk to people, I don't see how you can't be more conservative. And conservative doesn't mean you're a Republican, by the way. It just means that everything doesn't go. Everybody doesn't have unfettered rights because you have to live with other people, and your rights shouldn't stretch further than what the Constitution affords you, and that's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Constitution in America does not owe you happiness. You got to work for your own brand of happiness. And you can't have a party constantly telling you that you deserve something like the Democrats. So, anyway, so we need to look at the immigration crisis and see why, Biden all of a sudden now wants to continue, now wants to build a wall. Now that he's got his million immigrants in or so, he wants to start to crack down on the border. He wants to put in 65 or 25 to 60 miles of new fence, which he took away when he got in office. He wants to close down the border now because it benefits him because he got the amount of immigrants in that he wants to work with. And so the finesse is in. We got to recognize it. We got to be upset about it as Black people. And we need to vote against it. I mean, let's just put the Obama finesse, right? We found a Black man, they made him president, but he did absolutely nothing for Black people other than just be Black, in his own way. A Black wife, Black children, but policy wise, he didn't do a damn thing for Black people. But he made sure he took care of the alphabet mafia. The alphabet mafia was propelled by Barack Obama, and now they're almost an unbelievable fascist group that are imposing their will over all of society, whether it's TV, whether it's classrooms, whether it's even trying to make certain speech illegal. They're doing all they can. They're even taking kids and cutting their genitals off. They're taking kids and propelling that if you don't affirm your kids' sexuality, they can take your children away from you in California. There's all kinds of horrible and debaucherous things going on. And this is all under the regime of the Democrats. So let me tell you, we got to get rid of these people in terms of voting them out of office and putting more conservative and Christian things back in place. So anyway, our pain, marriage, politics, and sports, over and out.